Stay tuned for more of the Top 100 video games presented by G4 and Entertainment Weekly. For more great video game coverage, pick up a copy of Entertainment Weekly at your newsstands today.
Party people in the house, say ho! No party people, I'm sorry. I'm Hal Sparks and I'm counting down the top 100 games of all time. The rankings for this show came from a select group of expert panelists that work for G4 and Entertainment Weekly. They worked their way through hundreds of games and judged each one on merits from intensity to ingenuity. And while all the games had different attributes, they all shared one: utter and total brilliance. That being said, it's time to let another gem shine. Coming in at number 34 is Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar, which is enshrined in the RPG Hall of Fame for its unique premise. Instead of killing everything in sight, you were actually on a quest to become a moral leader. You couldn't win the game if you stole or unleashed senseless acts of aggression. Instead, you had to search for the ultimate wisdom, and for that kind of outside-the-box thinking, our panelists had the sense to reward this classic with a 34th place finish. Yes. Now, remember what I just said about wisdom and non-aggression? Meet Duke Nukem, the muscle-cut, foul-mouthed gun junkie and star of Duke Nukem 3D. Nukem's games are born at the intersection of action and comedy, and 3D is no exception. Renowned for its Hollywood Holocaust level and spray of ridiculous one-liners, the game is heavy on lighthearted fun. It was one of the first action games to have a personality, and that gave Duke the character of a 33rd place superstar. But, working against each other, our next batch of characters managed to one-up the Duke. Meet the gang from Tekken 2.
Tekken 2, I think that's still one of the best fighting games. It seems so real. The movements are so fluid, and when you get a nice combination going and you hit somebody with your head, and you break somebody's arm, or you do windmills, that's an intense game, man. That's a tight game.
In terms of fighting games, I think it was really one of the first great 3D fighting games because it was fully 3D, and I think when you played it, there was just a really visceral sense of feeling you were actually like that character. And Tekken and Tekken 2 were really two games that I think showed that fighting games, could evolve from beyond sort of the Mortal Kombat Street Fighter element.
It was so fresh and just so addictive. Those fighting games really sort of defined like the early 32-bit experience.
Funny, I thought going 2 years without a date defined the whole 32-bit experience, but maybe that was just me. Okay, how do you top perfection? Well, that's the challenge that Blizzard faced when figuring out the sequel for Diablo, a game famed for introducing millions of PC gamers to multiplayer adventuring in an online economy. With tons more of everything that made Diablo a winner and incredible cinematics, Blizzard's sequel wound up with more awards than it could fit on the mantle. Well, make a little more space, guys, because we're awarding you the 31 spot. And if hardcore games like Diablo 2 had your mental circuitry on the fritz, then just throw it into easy with the high-rev, low-intensity Super Mario Kart, the first successful cutesy mascot kart game. Super Mario Kart pioneered the use of power sliding and using weapons while taking a Sunday spin around the circuit. Those features are now a staple of the genre, so mark the kart with a well-deserved 30. While some people prefer the joy of racing high-speed road rockets piloted by adorable little mascots, others favor the cold, hard brutality of war. And if you're a fan of the latter, then you'll be hard-pressed to top the Medal of Honor series. The 29th place finisher gives you a trip to the front lines and assaults your senses.
When I first met the guys working on Medal of Honor, and I sat down and talked to them about what they wanted to do, and it was the first game in the series, the producer at the time, Peter Hirschman, told me that he had had a meeting with Steven Spielberg and how Steven Spielberg really wanted to recreate that whole Omaha Beach landing scene and how compelling that would be from a gameplay experience, like really sort of putting the player into this horrific wartime experience, having them try to survive that beach onslaught and really sort of giving the player sort of a feeling like they were there.
And you kind of went through World War II in this Medal of Honor series with fantastic sound and music design, great graphics, and it really brought the war to life in a way that I think you could previously only experience in a movie like Saving Private Ryan.
All right, let's bounce from one of the latest and greatest first-person shooters to one of the first shooters ever to be considered great. At 25 cents per play, Galaga wasn't just a game, it was a reflex sharpener, and one that broke the monotony of previous shooters like Galaxian and Space Invaders with its challenge stages and shot tallies. But, I mean, come on, seriously, between you and I, we both know that Galaga was all about that give-and-get deal where you let your ship get captured, you could get it back and have that double stream of laser blasts, and that's why Galaga still lines the lobbies of car washes and bowling alleys alike. The space grade finishes at 28. Now, from Galaga to Guybrush we go with the series at number 27. Following the foible and folly of aspiring pirate Guybrush Threepwood, the Monkey Island games are remembered for some of the best moments in the all-but-extinct genre of comedy-adventure. Featuring top-level joke writing, each game was highlighted by the barb trading segment entitled Insult Sword Fighting. That appealed to all you smartasses out there, and that's why we gave the Monkey Island series a nod at 27. And, you know, what if some of our celebrity guests, what if they got the nod? You know, that is, what if they got the chance to design their own game? What if that happened? What would they think they'd come up with? What?
I actually have an idea for a video game. It's called Poo Poo Pee Pee. And you basically, your character, it's a first-person game. You're running around a city covering people in poo-poo and pee-pee.
If I had my perfect video game, it'd be called Fingers. You would have your hands, I would have mine, and we'd just cut each other's fingers off.
It'd be like Medieval Future with a robot chimp. So, and there would be mystical powers, but crazy robots and spaceships.
I would do a ultimate fighting game with celebrities.
Well, I know the girls that play sometimes, they would want to have a girl version of Halo.
I would like to take some of the old Pulp Fiction novels from like the 30s and 40s, like Buck Rogers or like Flash Gordon, something like that. You know, they had these ongoing weekly serials and turn that into like a series of games.
You know, like a Sims type thing. But as yourself in high school with your friends, I don't know how you program all this.
Maybe you call it Fantasyland, and you kind of think of what your ultimate fantasy in life is, and the game kind of comes around your interest.
I like the martial arts crazy, but I love basketball and I love football, so I would probably incorporate ways to bust somebody the basketball.
I got some great ideas for games too, but I'm not going to tell you. I don't know. But mine would be on the top 100, you know, list. Theirs might not, but mine would be. But we have 26 more to go. So when we come back from the break, we'll keep counting them down. Would you rather Command and Conquer or listen to the sweet sounds of a nighttime symphony? Stick around and find out when the top 100 games of all time returns.
Women love perfectly groomed men, but grooming certain areas can be a problem. Razor blades can cut you, and scissors can poke you. Now there's Microtouch, designed to go where razors and scissors shouldn't go. For safe, precise grooming that gets as close as a blade, yet is safe to the touch. The sleek design gives you perfect control, so you can keep the back of your neck barbershop perfect by yourself. Remove unsightly ear hair with just a touch. Embarrassing nose hair, gone like that. Sideburns straight and even, mustaches and beards neat and clean. Got bushy eyebrows? Just snap on the guide and perfectly groom them in seconds. Look at the difference. Microtouch grooms from head to toe and anywhere in between. Shoulders, arms, chest, or back. Powerful enough for the tough stuff, yet gentle even on the most sensitive skin. The secret? Our precision cutting system that cuts hair but doesn't cut skin. It gets as close as a blade, yet is safe to the touch. Guaranteed. The Snap-on Guide lets you control just how much hair is removed. Remove a little, a lot, or remove it all and show off that hard body. What a great way for women to keep the men in their life perfectly groomed, or for moms who want to keep their kids looking neat and clean between haircuts. Microtouch replaces expensive trimmers like these and goes places they can't with micro precision. A $40 value for only $14.99. So avoid those risky razor cuts. Put down the pointy scissors and go with Microtouch, the safe, precise solution for everyday grooming. Call now and you'll also get our 10-piece precision grooming kit. It includes every grooming tool you need to always look your best. A $40 value, yours absolutely free. You get it all. The Microtouch Precision Groomer and this beautiful 10-piece grooming kit, an incredible $80 value for only $14.99. But you have to call now. Here's how to order.
To order your Microtouch, call 1-800-314-2929 or send a check or money order to the address listed. So call 1-800-314-2929.
Stay tuned for more of the G4 Christmas Day Marathon.
Stay tuned for more of the top 100 video games presented by G4 and Entertainment Weekly. For more great video game coverage, pick up a copy of Entertainment Weekly at your newsstands today.
Over 1 million understand its strength. It can improve your energy, your shape. This is Bowflex Power Rod technology, and it can only be found on genuine Bowflex equipment, like the new Bowflex Extreme. Now you can get the results you want, the exercises you need, all at an affordable price. You've never seen this Bowflex before. Call 1-800-997-6100 now and get a free video or DVD and check out the new Bowflex Extreme. You can have a high-performance body. Just look for real Bowflex Power Rod technology, proven effective at burning fat and building muscle. Now you can own the new Extreme for no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. The Bowflex Extreme is not available in stores. You know you're ready. Let Bowflex help you get there. Call now for a free video or DVD today, because your results matter.
Is your holiday just not performing? Then get G4's Holiday Joy, now with New Year's Day Marathon. Starting at 11 a.m., catch 15 hours of G4's year-end specials.
Welcome to our special 1-hour Year of the Cheat flashback.
You ask, you receive.
You'll feel fresh, sparkly, and powered up.
Oh, yeah! Got it. Good. Now move it.
The Holiday Joy New Year's Day Marathon starts New Year's Day at 11 a.m.
Welcome back. I'm Hal Sparks, counting down the top 100 games of all time. We're up to spot number 26, and a war game that treads the path less traveled. Command & Conquer Red Alert presented a twisted version of World War II and a fantastic display of real-time strategy that didn't take itself too seriously, and that was a paradox worth playing. Seriously.
Commander, you did a fine job rescuing Einstein for us.
Now, we are counting on you again.
Command & Conquer was really one of the first real-time strategy games that really sort of had mass appeal. It, you know, just blew up on the scene. Everyone started playing it, and there was this very addictive quality to it. It seemed like everyone on the market, after the success of Command & Conquer, wanted to make a real-time strategy game.
Yes, sir. You know what I like, though? I like Red Alert. You know Red Alert for the computer? Oh, I love Red Alert.
Acknowledge.
This is classified.
I know.
I sent for her.
General von Essling, she's a civilian.
It takes you out of it when you all of a sudden see, like, people sitting there and they're like, no, you have to... Although there are, it's like Command & Conquer did some pretty good integration.
Yeah, but here's the lesson. Good luck.
One of the biggest draws with Red Alert was the vehicles, but when it comes to vehicles, baby, you ain't gonna do much better than the X-Wing fighter. And LucasArts was well aware of that when they set out to design the game at number 25. With a myriad of memorable moments, X-Wing supplanted the Wing Commander series as the definitive action spaceflight simulator, taking the Rebel fighter for a spin while taking in the sounds of TIE fighters as they went by, you know, hell yeah! But that's great. But if that's not music to your ears, and if it isn't, you're a loser, then perhaps our next game is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Flawlessly blended RPG-style character development with classic side-scrolling gameplay, but as you might have guessed from the title, the music in this game is insane in the friggin' membrane. The series may be tight, but Symphony of the Night was the highlight. The collector's item still fetches a pretty penny on eBay, like, you know, my underwear. And now, we head off across the Atlantic for a couple of genre-bending mega hits. At 23 and 22, here's some solid Evil. I'm guessing Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil, Michael?
Metal Gear Solid, this is one of those games that I think actually made the move to the next level of trying to incorporate a little bit of movie thematics to it. That one, actually, I believe, actually raised the bar somewhat for the gamers, going, yeah, why can't they be like that? And everybody has to now start sucking wind trying to get up to that level.
It was just clear from the get-go that this this sort of stealth espionage gameplay was something that the market was really ready for, and that Snake was just a really cool character, and the environments were really cool, and it just showed off what the PlayStation was capable of.
What's with these guys?
What made Resident Evil so great was that I think it really just scared the bejesus out of everyone that played it. You need to play that game with the volume up loud, the lights off in your house, and just sort of experience it almost as a horror movie.
I used to play the first Resident Evil because it was like a film, so cinematic, so it's good to see it made into one.
If I didn't play the game, why would I demand to be in the movie? What's the point? You know what I mean?
Are you all right? What happened? I don't know what would possess somebody to make this movie if they weren't fans of the game, because it's crazy. I mean, me and my little brother, he's 13 years old, we played this game like 5 hours a day.
So different from anything else that came out, you know, back then. It was just, and it scared the crap out of me.
One of the most influential games in the survival horror series, Resident Evil could scare the fertilizer right out of you, but our next game is scary for a whole different reason. The most addictive MMORPG, I can't even say that's crazy, in gaming history, EverQuest, has actually acquired the nickname Evercrack by many of its game-hungry denizens for a sickening power to make time pass. And with the amount of people that no longer see the light of day as a result of their new online habit, I gotta believe that Sony Online Entertainment is in cahoots with the Skin Cancer Society, or is trying to put Coppertone out of business or something.
EverQuest. I have to give that game credit as the first real online game that truly had the ability, firstly, to make revenue and to really grab people and keep them in there. I think at any time there's 200,000 people playing EverQuest.
It was really the first 3D massively multiplayer game. So imagine playing a game like Doom or Quake, except online with, you know, tens of thousands of other people.
There's something just really magical and cool about being online with other real players and going on these quests and fighting monsters and being in a dungeon and you're with real people doing those things.
If you know any people that play that game and they still answer their phone, be sure and tell them that it landed at spot 21. Oh, I can tell from Blanket's cries that finishes up today's show, but join us next time when we'll uncover the big #1. Does an old school Mario still have the clout to come out on top? Or will a new school gangsta joint pull a grand theft? Only time will tell. But until then, I'm Hal Sparks. Blanket, no! I'll see you next time. Boo! I love you! Blanket, Blanket, I love you! Blanket! When Mortal Kombat graced the arcades, it started a train of every blue de blue. He's like up a data. Big lips, as that they just eventually just kind of give out. Baby, baby.
Thanks to Entertainment Weekly. For more of Entertainment Weekly's great video game coverage, pick up a copy on newsstands today or log on to EW.com.
I don't know what the problem is with you guys. Dig Dug was amazing. The whole game was a metaphor for the psychological ramifications of split. What?
You got something on your chin there. Oh, just under your lip.
I get it?
No, a little.
Is it gone?
Wait, yeah, a little bit.
Gone now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, thank God. Hate to go on the air like that, you know. Hey, get ready for a thrill ride into the underbelly of video game brilliance as G4 and Entertainment Weekly present the top 100 games of all time. Sure? Hi, I'm Hal Sparks, and welcome to the 5th and final installment of the Top 100 Games of All Time. Looks like we made it. Okay, over the last 4 episodes, we've cut a path through 80 of the best video games ever to fly off a store shelf or sit under an arcade roof. But today, my friends, is where it all comes together. Over the next half hour, we're going to highlight the 20 greatest games, in our humble opinions, to ever be created. Now, if you've been watching diligently, then you know that Mike Tyson made headlines and Mortal Kombat made a killing. But if you haven't, then, well, what the hell's wrong with you? Here's a quick refresher to bring you up to speed. Now that we've run through a condensed glimpse of the last 80, it's time to hit the home stretch. Prepare yourselves for, in the immortal words of the Swedish hairband Europe, the final countdown. We blast things off in outer space with a series of games that had a meteor-sized impact back here on Earth. With the release of Metroid in 1986, Nintendo introduced an engaging space adventure that sucked them in by the thousands, but where Metroid gained its legion of devotees was at the finish line as main character Samus took off his helmet to reveal that he was a she. And from that moment on, the intergalactic bounty huntress helped rocket the franchise to stratospheric heights on her way to becoming one of the most popular women in video game history. Alas, the difference between being one of the most popular female characters ever and the most popular female character ever is about 5 years and a billion dots. At number 19 is the pellet-munching, pink-bowed heroine by the name of Pac. If you have a pulse, chances are you've played Miss Pac-Man at least once. The masses, however, have played it more than just about any arcade game ever.
You know, I like the old school video games, like Miss Pac-Man.
I have a Miss Pac-Man back at home. I've had that since I was like 85, I had a Miss Pac-Man.
Miss Pac-Man, for whatever reason, was very appealing to women. I don't know whether it was the bow and the lipstick. Who knows why this game appealed to women? I have never been able to figure it out.
My favorite game would definitely have to be, and it's so old school, but please forgive me, it's definitely Miss Pac-Man.
You know, just when you thought the graphics on Miss Pac-Man couldn't be any more rudimentary, they released it for the home consoles, and what a graphic letdown. But when Soul Calibur came out for the Sega Dreamcast, it looked good enough to put the arcades on an endangered species list. Soul Calibur carried the brawn of a fighter like Samurai Showdown, but wound up so much higher on the countdown because it had such an amazing presentation, which was peppered with the kind of cool characters that Namco became known for in its signature Tekken series. Of course, if you're talking about high caliber profiles, then we'd be more than a little remiss not to mention Tomb Raider's Lara Croft, or Halo's Master Chief. So why don't we? Here they are at 17 and 16, respectively. Lord.
The Tomb Raider series. Now, first of all, this proves that video game characters can be hot.
Like, I played Tomb Raider for almost a year straight, and I played it every night, like, eyes bloody in my room.
First-person shooters really started with Doom, but I think third-person action games really started with Lara Croft. And the idea was that, you would actually see the character in front of you, and the camera would sort of be over the shoulder. And you sort of, the camera would follow around the character, so you got to see Lara Croft in all her glory for the whole game.
I've just got an Xbox, so I've been kind of glued to Halo right now for a while.
The way everything was done in the game is that it was very story-driven, so you never felt like you were just in an environment gunning down people for no reason.
There's really nothing like shooting your friend in the head with a sniper rifle just to get whatever's on your chest off your chest.
That's very sweet, but what's wrong with a hug? Is that too much? All right, fine. The game at number 15 proves that you don't have to have high-tech weapons to make combat cool. From mastermind Sid Meier came Civilization 2, or Civ 2, to those in the know, the first game to make geopolitics fun. It could be played as a pure military strategy game, or as a nation-building sim in which you crushed rivals with governmental policy instead of tanks. The concept. Well, I got another concept for you. Here it comes. Clairvoyance. Yes, you got it. We asked our celebrity guest and expert to eyeball the future as it pertains to video games, and when we get back from the break, we'll find out what they see. Plus, we'll keep filling you in on the way we see it. With only 14 spots left to go, the end is nigh. Will Tony Hawk rise to the top, or will Tetris drop the Russian hammer on him? Stick around and find out when the top 100 games of all time continues.
So what's the difference between Madden Football and Blitz?
The old kick touchdowns.
These We Sell Everything stores don't take games seriously. You gotta talk to gamers.
Oh, man. Blitz is like an arcade game. Helmets flying off, bodies piling up. Madden's more like being in a real game.
Sweet. Reserve the hottest new releases. Pre-owned games and equipment at big discounts. Save on new games by trading in old ones.
The most innovative and influential music of the modern rock era comes from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is their greatest hits collection, featuring 16 of their best songs.
I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way.
The wait is over. The Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits is now available.
Standing in line to see the show tonight, and there's a light on. Heavy glow. By the way, I tried to stay. I'll be there. Waiting for.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are truly one of a kind. Now, for the first time ever, you can own their greatest hits on one CD.
Got a tissue that I wish you saw. Sarcastic, Mr. Know It.
Get the Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits and receive this CD opener free with your paid order. The Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits features 2 brand new songs, only available on this collection. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have broken down musical barriers their entire career. Now own a piece of musical history from this legendary band. To order the Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits for $18.98 plus $4.95 shipping and handling, call the number on your screen or log on to onlyhitmusic.com. And with your paid order, you'll receive the CD opener free. Rush delivery available. Call now.
The most powerful game system now has the ultimate holiday offer. Get Tetris Worlds and Star Wars, the Clone Wars, 2 months of Xbox Live, and an Xbox for only what? Rated E to T. Xbox. It's good to play together.
tuned for more of the Top 100 video games presented by G4 and Entertainment Weekly. For more great video game coverage, pick up a copy of Entertainment Weekly at your newsstands today.
Hey, what's up? It's Jim Murray coming at you from San Francisco for the 2003 EA Sports Madden Challenge, and this is today's Madden Challenge update. And I'm joined once again by D-Train, Dwayne Harrison, one of the players of the EA Hit Squad that plays with Playmaker Express behind me. And Train, we pretty much wrapped up the Madden Challenge. 32 guys going to Las Vegas to play for 50 grand. Anything you could say to those guys?
Yeah, guys, bring your A game. And hey, check out our site at MaddenChallenge.com. Pick up those tips before you come.
I'm so glad you're back. I'm Hal Sparks, and I'm counting down the top 100 games of all time, and it's good to do it with you. You're probably wondering how these shows came together. Well, here's a little backstory. Earlier this spring, the heavy hitters at G4 and Entertainment Weekly got together at a Sunday barbecue when a conversation came up about the greatest game of all time. What began as a simple debate turned into a full-fledged hickory-roasted meat-throwing melee. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and approximately 3 weeks later, the same folks got together and intelligently debated the pros and cons of some of the best games to ever see the light of day. And that's why I'm here today, so that I can pass on the good word. So let's get back to it, yo, with a white-hot helping of high-wire tricks and high-speed kicks. The Tony Hawk Pro Skater Series in Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec pushed the envelope on extremity at spots 14 and 13.
My favorite game of all time would be Tony Hawk Pro Skater because it's skateboarding and that's what I do, and I was like, finally you can do it on a video game and not get hurt.
You can like attach yourself to cars, and you can do all this amazing stuff. You can luge, and it's a big competition in our household.
I just can't believe we're here. You know, I can't believe we can still be making them and still make it that much better each time. Each game is better than the next. People always say, oh, which one is the best? I'm like, the best one is the new one.
Gran Turismo, that game sucked the life out of me. You know, it had that whole you gotta catch them all collection factor to it, where you just kept on playing just to get the next car.
It brought in the concept that each car is actually not the same car, where most ones are like, you're in a Pinto and you're in a Porsche. And they go, and everything was the same. And now they're going, no. You pick the Pinto or the Porsche, you're going to have a lot more difficulty winning that race in the Pinto.
If you're a car nut, you're going to be able to find anything you want, and you're going to be able to race it. It's just perfect.
With over 150 cars to choose from, the ability to upgrade with manufacturer-specific parts, and authentically recreated experiences like power steering and brake locking, if that game was any more realistic, it would come with a cup holder and proof of insurance, and in my case, tickets. But while a game like that is praised for its realism, the series at spot number 12 is equally touted for its total lack thereof. With ultra-engaging storylines, landmark characters, and landscapes that feature an orgy of colors, the Final Fantasy series is well known for pushing the limits of imagination to the extremes. In the eyes of most, I think, Final Fantasy VII shined the brightest with one of the greatest moments in video game history, the surprise death of beloved Aeris. A moment of silence? Oh, never mind, they're already quiet. How do you top a game like Final Fantasy VII? Why don't you ask 007? See how I did that? The tuxedoed stud may have started in his fair share of video games, but none of them nailed the bullseye as well as GoldenEye 007 for the Nintendo 64. Hardcore gamers may have discounted the game because it was a license, but after they got a taste of the multiplayer split-screen deathmatch mode, they were quick to put a sock in it. And in our eyes, GoldenEye isn't just the best game ever based on a movie, it's the 11th best game ever. Now, we look away from the GoldenEye and into the crystal ball, or crystal trackball. We asked our friendly guests what the future holds for the world of video games, and here's what a few of them had to say.
I foresee a thing that fits right over your head, and it's complete and total immersion.
You know, the whole immersive like holographics or VR type stuff. I really see that happening, you know.
The peripherals and the accessories, I think that we'll get 3D. I think we'll, you know, be virtually in the world rather than staring at your computer screen.
I believe they'll have more tactile feedback. So you'll maybe wear some kind of jacket or glove, and you'll be able to feel the punches and feel the shots being hit.
I don't know if somebody's going to jump out of the screen and you're fighting with them. You know, I don't know. That's probably the next thing. I don't know. But
I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
You know what my prediction for the future is? Power Glove's coming back. That's right, you heard it from me. Power Glove 2. Use it with Dig Dug. It'll work really well. Sorry. But now it's time to get back to yesterday's hits with a hard-hitting arcade favorite. I can't resist. Street Fighter II was one of the last lines of defense for the dying arcade business. Making its debut in 1991, the game almost single-handedly drove fans back to the arcades. People would spend hours trying to master the moves such as hurtling fireballs and throwing dragon punches, moves which would set the standard for countless fighting games to come. It finishes the countdown at number 10. Wow, we're inside the 10 mark. Woo. When it comes to games which set standards, though, you'd be hard-pressed to find weightier real-time strategy titles than the ones made by Blizzard, let's say. But where games like Diablo and Diablo 2 may have been home runs, StarCraft and Warcraft were blasted out of the park. They're the kinds of games that have developed a huge fan base and a loyal following. Color us impressed, okay? Over here, I think I speak for everyone. StarCraft and Warcraft capture the 9 spot. Now, here's 2 more colors for you, red and blue. You've all been waiting patiently for this one, so here it is, the man, the myth, the little plumber who could star front and center in Super Mario 64.
Super Mario 64 is probably the most important 3D game ever because it kind of showed to gamers and developers what was possible.
Mario 64 was different from all the Marios before because you could, you know, fly through air and do like more of the secret levels.
Super Mario 64 is one of the top games of all time, and I think even if you wait another 10 years, you're not going to get that same impact again, because it was the first time that you played a 3D platformer like that, with a great camera, with great environment. And you can never recreate that feeling of stepping into this third dimension for the first time with Mario.
You know, days could go by before you let go of your Nintendo joystick and cave into societal pressures such as going to work or taking a shower. But believe it or not, there's actually a game out there which forces you to go to work and take showers. And while to someone who's never played it, a game like The Sims may sound about as exciting as yard work, this life simulator is one addictive mother. It's funny, engrossing, intellectually stimulating. Alas, what does it say about us as people, though, where the most popular PC game of all time has us simulating life and not living it? Hello? Chew on that while we take a break. And steel yourselves because the #1 game of all time is within spitting distance. Does John Madden throw the final punch? Or can a crafty shooter come back with an impressive Counter-Strike? Stick around and find out who's numero uno when the top 100 games of all time returns. Oh, man. Wow.
For a limited time, if you buy a Nintendo GameCube for $99.99, you'll get a bonus disc with 4 classic Zelda games free.
Spy Hunter 2 is more slick and addictive than the first edition, says IGN. Spy Hunter 2, available now, rated teens.
You've been bad, now he's here to take away your Christmas cheer. Krampus, Krampus. You were sassy. You talked back. He will put you in his sack. Krampus, Krampus. Krampus.
Crimson Sky,
Rated teen, Xbox. It's good to play together.
Stay tuned for more of the G4 Christmas Day Marathon. Stay tuned for more of the top 100 video games presented by G4 and Entertainment Weekly. For more great video game coverage, pick up a copy of Entertainment Weekly at your newsstands today.
Mr. Bond. James Bond.
Hey, thanks for coming back. I'm Hal Sparks, and I'm counting down the top 100 games of all time. For one reason or another, there's always been one certainty when it comes to video games. People love to shoot. From Marathon to Medal of Honor, there have been tons of shooters. When it comes to pulling the trigger, though, in the first person, you can't pull a much better one than Half-Life. Where Half-Life became full was by spawning a huge mod community with the release of Counter-Strike, the multiplayer online match of terrorist counter-terrorist. For its massive impact, the testosterone generator winds up in 6th. But, come on, let's not kid ourselves. When it comes to testosterone, football is king, and when it comes to the monarchy of football, Your Highness goes by the name of John Madden.
Madden 2003 rules beyond comprehension, and it taught me the rules of football when I played that, and I realized what was going on, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see the rules, and I actually like the real game, thanks to the video game.
My favorite game in the universe would probably be Madden football.
I think Madden's the staple game for all the gaming systems. It's the game that everybody plays. It's games that the pros play, that the kids play, that everybody plays.
While Madden showcases some of the hardest hits around, there are other places you can turn to if you're looking to administer a punishing blow. When you're looking to switch gear from sport to blood sport, then draw your curtains, fire up your PCs and PS2s, and beg God for mercy as you dip into the heavenly delight of Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I think we have a deal, my friend.
Grand Theft Auto, God bless young kids that try to break away from the big corporation and go, let's just do this crazy idea.
Grand Theft Auto, you started out and you could walk anywhere you wanted in that world, and you could, drive a car, and you could, knock down people, or you could knock down lampposts, and it was a huge sense of freedom. It was almost like a playground.
Yeah, Ian does love Grand Theft Auto. He'll go on the bus and start Grand Theft Auto over from the beginning just to be able to play video games 24/7.
It's a game, okay? It's not real life. It's just a game.
While it's easy to see how a game that allows you to play with pimps and bangers and hoes can be a vice, it's kind of difficult to figure out how a game with falling shapes can stack on top of it. But that's exactly what Tetris did. As jobs were lost and homes were broken as a result of its billion-watt tractor beam that fucks you in mercilessly and never let you go, Tetris didn't pose much of a problem at first, but as you got better, it got faster and it pushed your eye-hand coordination to its utmost limits. Just one game, right? Yeah, whatever. Anyways, vodka may score high in some groups, but I don't care what anyone says, Tetris is Russia's finest hour. It's also our third place game. And you know what that means? You know what that means? This is it, folks. We plowed through 98 of the greatest games ever to grace a home, arcade, or portable. And while each title was uniquely brilliant in its own right, there can be only one. And when it came to the best games of all time, our judges sang the praises of two series, Legend of Zelda and Doom. And while those games weren't similar in any way, shape, or form, their creation had one mutual result. Millions of hours of glee giving to gamers the globe over. But don't take my word for it, listen to these guys.
Doom, I remember downloading that shareware back years ago, and just to be looking through the eyes of the character was so phenomenal at the time. It was really new, and you had to get used to the fact that all you were going to see was what the character saw.
You play a space marine who essentially has to go through hell to save yourself and the planet. I mean, literally, you travel through rings of fire in the depths of hell to, you know, come back out and survive and save the planet.
I don't know what the rush is of being able to walk around and blow people away, but it's been there ever since you went to Carnival and you got to shoot the ducks, right?
Legend of Zelda is a fantasy story that I believe is on par with Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings as one of the great fantasy stories that have ever been told.
The significance of the series was that they set up a huge world, like a playground for you to play in, and you could try out different things. You could go any direction you wanted to.
The Legend of Zelda series is growing up with the game industry. It's amazing to think that the original 8-bit Zelda game has grown into the latest masterpiece, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
Both the Zelda and Doom series are spectacular, but only one can be the greatest show on Earth. Our judges labored when it came to awarding the #1 spot, but the greatest game of all time is Dig Dug.
How?
Burger Time.
Stop.
Duck Hunt.
No.
Come on, Solitaire.
No.
Minesweeper. Okay, fine.
Cut.
All right, hold on. No, wait. I know. It's Zaxxon.
Security.
The Legend of Zelda. Well, I sincerely hope you enjoyed our journey through the top 100 games of all time. But remember, the opinions reflected on these shows are just that, opinions, okay? Okay? Ease up. If you feel that we missed any games or that some of these titles didn't deserve to make the cut, then log on to G4TV.com, make some noise on the message boards, and let us have it. Well, that just about wraps it up on my end, see? I'm Hal Sparks, reminding you to be good or be good at it. Be strong, my brothers and sisters. I'm out to play Dig Dug. Can you dig it? Now that we've run through a condensed glimpse of the last boom. Self-involved. It happens. Wow. Excuse me. Do we get that? Okay.
Thanks to Entertainment Weekly. For more of Entertainment Weekly's great video game coverage, pick up a copy on newsstands today or log on to EW.com.